Good morning, campers. Happy Monday. And you know what it means? Masculine Monday. So let's pull cards for our masculines or your masculine within. What is it that you need to hear today, Spirit? What is it that we need to hear? What's the lesson for this week? Mirror, mirror, number 14. We have mirror, mirror. Let me read through this and we'll chat. Everything that exists outside of us is an illusion, a projection of parts of our own psyche that we are refusing to acknowledge. Every person, situation, relationship is a reflection of parts of ourselves that we are rejecting or silencing. Write down everything that upset you in the past month. Perhaps you can even think of some things that always bother you and are always your greatest triggers. Remember, everything in the universe is neutral. So if it causes a strong reaction that you are unable to let go of, it's because it's activating something that exists within you. Contemplate on those reactions. Where are they really coming from? And if you know anything about spirituality, if you know anything about shadow work, if you've been watching me, you know that I say this to you guys all the time, and it's a base of shadow work. Everything is a reflection. What you see in others is a reflection of you. Whether you look at me and you think that I'm crazy tarot lady, it's a reflection of you. Or if you look at me and I think that I'm so beautiful and so amazing, it's a reflection of you. What you think of me exists within you. What you think of others, it's because it exists within you. Because when we're truly healed, when we've done our shadow work, we look at people, we may have, some emotions, we may have some opinions, but they don't cause a deregulation within us. They don't cause a distress. We don't get judgmental. We don't get triggered. We don't get emotional over other people. So if that exists within you, examine it, because it means that it exists within you, and the other person has nothing to do with that. And I know that it's hard to understand for people who are in the beginning of a healing journey, because I've heard these opinions quite a lot. But what do you mean? But if this person is just treating me unfairly, they just treating me in a mean way. Well, here's some news. If they treating you unfairly, if they treating you in a mean way, a centered person who has healed, who has went through shadow work, who loved themselves, you would just take it as something that exists in this world and has a right to exist, just like you have a right to exist. And you will move away from that thing. You will move away from that person with no judgment, with no trigger, with no emotion that is not allowing you to sleep and to go on. And it is a state that you can achieve. So maybe this found you for a reason. Maybe you should do as the card says. Write down everything that triggers you within other people. Even if you're not able and not ready to do a deep shadow work just yet, it may just be an exercise for you to understand yourself better. So why is it that your neighbor upsets you? Why is it that your partner triggers you? Why is it that someone in your family triggers you? Why is it that someone online, look at you guys, look at online content of anyone, and then look at the comments. How many people have the necessity to jump on comments and say something in a very upset manner, in a very corrective manner, in a very judgmental manner? Why? Because it exists within them. Someone who is healed, again, someone who is centered, you see something and you just scroll. It's just neutral. If you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say it. Why? Because all that exists within you, it's nice. Because you embody self-love. You embody love. If you have nastiness, if you have aggression, you may tell yourself that it's because the other person triggered you. But the other person doesn't have the power to make you feel. It is you. The feeling exists within you. So maybe it's your sign to sit down tonight with yourself and write down everything that pisses you off, whether that's always or maybe just this week, and really think about the why. The why. Because even if you disagree with someone's ways of living, with someone's opinion, it doesn't mean that you have the right to judge them. It doesn't mean that you have the right to put a comment underneath their video. It doesn't mean that you have the right to tell them how to live their life. It doesn't mean that you have the right to feel distressed, because if If you feel distressed, if you feel triggered, again, it is within you. I hope this was helpful. I love you so incredibly much, and I hope you have an amazing Monday.